So my name is José. So I'm from Paris, but we are located in Portugal. So I would explain to you why we are based in Portugal. So the company CRANTEC is one of the LiFi expert in Europe. We start working on the technology with the company named Pure LiFi. I think many of you know who is Pure LiFi. So the company was incorporated in France first, and then we moved to Portugal. And of course, we are here in France and in Portugal. So we start working with Pure LiFi at 2030, where Pure LiFi launched the first LiFi system on the market. So this is our address in Portugal. The first system, this is our story. The first system was LiFi, this one. That was the first system, the LiFi system, the high-speed bidirectional LiFi system on the market. And we start to work with Pure LiFi on this system. This system cost 8 years ago 15,000 euro. This one, 15,000 euro. Then we start to get the solution, and the objective was to learn more about the technology. What was inside? It was a risk because we could not imagine that one day LiFi technology will be a new revolution, a new industrial revolution. So we start working on the beta test of the version, the first one, and that's why today CRANTEC is one of the Pure LiFi partner, and we are a member of the company that are designing the standard, LiFi standard. So after the development of the first system, LiFi, this one, the LiFi, we moved to the second one. As you can see, this is LiFlame, and currently this is the latest one. So as you can see, we follow the development of all the technology until today. So I'll show you where we are and what is the roadmap for the future. As you can see, from here, we have developed the chipset. So this one became the mobile phone. I will show you right now this one. Sorry. This one. Look, the chipset. So from the LiFi system, this one, from this equipment, we have developed the chipset that will be integrated on the mobile phone. So it was a challenge, and I can confirm today that by next year, you will see the first smartphone, LiFi smartphone in Barcelona, the World Mobile Congress. And the mass market of the first smartphone, LiFi smartphone, will come on 21st. The mass market in 1 year. So that is all the product that Pure LiFi launched on the market. And the next one will be, of course, the smartphone and the next generation of light, luminaire, IoT luminaire. So CRANTEC is member of Light Communication Alliance. As you can see, many companies like Cisco, Nokia, Lucibel, and the other joined the alliance to build the standard, the LiFi standard. So next week, we will be in Luxembourg to see the roadmap, to define the roadmap of the product that will be on the market by next year. So many companies are now joining the alliance to bring LiFi to the mass market. So LiFi is now getting up. Is by next year, you will see many, many applications, and I think most of you have heard about Air France. Air France now use LiFi on the plane. You know that, Airbus. Did you see some picture like this? No? Oh, can I access internet here?
Not on my computer. Maybe in Martha's if she has the internet. I don't know.
Okay, I will show you. I will show later. Air France have demonstrated in, let's say, 1 month ago, the use of LiFi from Paris to Toulouse fly. So LiFi will be used as the standard communication platform in the flight. Because why? You know that every time you take your flight, they say, please do not use your mobile phone. Yeah, that's the advantage that we are going to see later, that Wi-Fi bring more advantages. So with LiFi, there is no need. There is no need to not use your computer or your smartphone or your tablet in the flight, because there is no electronic magnetic signals. There is no interferences. So you can make a call, you can use your mobile phone, your smartphone, make a call, and have a video conferencing using LiFi. That is the new. You cannot imagine a limited possibility of application in flight. What we say in flight entertainment. So this has been demonstrated 1 month ago here in Paris, from Paris to Toulouse by Air France. I will show you. We have all the information, all the resources on the internet. So Pure LiFi, who is the father of the technology, have created an alliance of many companies like Cisco, because LiFi is a network system, so it needs network equipment. All the luminaires will be linked to your switch, Cisco switch. That's why Cisco is beyond the scene. Cisco is driving the technology. And you can see here also many other partners that are for industrial. As you can see, there are many companies working on LiFi, especially on the industry sector. And you also have some operator like Orange. Orange is the partner on the technology. Why? Because you know that the 5G will use LiFi, will use Li as the last mile, because you cannot install the antenna here. It will be worse if you install the 5G antenna here. You will not lack your apartment or your home. It will be worse. So the luminaire will be like the antenna of 5G. That's why it is a new revolution. So the challenge is to design the next generation of luminaire that will support the 5G connectivity. So CRANTEC is also a member of Solar Impulse. I don't know if you know the Solar Impulse Foundation. And Solar Impulse have many experts, international experts. So they came during 1 year and 6 months to CRANTEC to make the assessment, to let CRANTEC demonstrate that LiFi is a clean, green, and profitable technology for the environment. So LiFi is the clean technology. Why? Because, as you know, we are all going to retrofit light. So we are going to use LED light. Now imagine that this LED light, you just integrate the chipset I show you, the small chips inside. And this LED is powered by solar panel. From the solar panel, you power the LED, and inside the home, the building, you have a 5G free network. It's clear? The solar panel will power the LED luminaire. So it's a green technology.
By design.
By design. More secure, more bandwidth, the density of bandwidth. I will show you what we are going to support the next year. And by design, LiFi technology is a clean, profitable, and green technology. That's why Solar Impulse give CRANTEC the award of this. You can see the link here. You can connect here. Oh, I don't have access to internet.
There is no LiFi.
So I don't know how to get back here. Oh, sorry, lads.
That's Mac.
Wait, yeah, where is it?
You go down there.
Okay, let me get.
Just right click on that. I'll come up to now. This one? No, this is Alright. Did you come over all together? Good idea. Which one is yours?
Yeah, the last one.
The last
Yeah.
one. Should come up.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, so if you go to Solar Impulse and for the net, you can have all the detail about the award, the decision that has been made by international experts to consider LiFi as a green technology. So, how it works, how LiFi works, as you can see, we have here, this is your traditional switch. This is everything you have in your office. You have a switch here that can be the local switches in your company, and this can be internet. So from the internet or from the local network, you just connect using your Ethernet cable, or it can be a PLC, a power line communication. Then connect this to the luminaire, and that's it. And from here, you will use your mobile phone. As I say, that next year we are going to demonstrate the world first smartphone, LiFi smartphone.
What about the laptops?
Sorry?
What about the laptops?
Everything will be integrated on laptop, tablet, and smartphone. It's already done. Laptop is, I will show you. Okay. HP is working on laptop. Okay. So you should know that LiFi will be on the same path like Wi-Fi. So it will be integrated everywhere. The chipset I show you will be integrated everywhere. So, as you can see, the challenge we have here, Marta, the challenge is to design this and inside integrate the security layer.
The access point?
Yes,
No.
this.
Okay.
This is the access point. Yes, the luminaire.
The luminaire.
Okay, that's the challenge. How we are going to integrate the chipset I show you and all the intelligence inside here and also all the services, because you should know that the next generation of light luminaire will be like your smartphone. In the past, 5 years ago, you get your application on the smartphone, correct? But in the near future, in 2 years, all the application will be here. The luminaire will be the next generation of smartphone. And the luminaire will have a small camera, like your smartphone. Then you have this camera that will connect to the luminaire by the same way, and all the application will come from the luminaire, all the application. And then by the same way, you will have this luminaire with many channels. Imagine that you have a TV channel with multiple channels. and you can be connected on one channel or to another. Your smartphone will be connected on one channel or to another one. So the next generation of light luminaire will be something amazing with many, many applications and unlimited application. So
I hope it will be a kind of diversity and I can choose without camera.
Yeah.
sorry.
That you can choose the source of.
It's a diversity of the
lighting.
products.
Yes,
Okay,
okay,
yes.
of course.
Without camera.
Yeah, of course.
It's made me a little trouble.
That's application. You know, it was like your camera. When they
Yes.
start putting the camera here, nobody can imagine that people are going to use the camera on the mobile phone. It will be the same on your luminaire, the next generation of
But
luminaire.
then you have also, except the access and the microchip in the LED, in the lighting source, you have also the transmitters
Yes.
in the phones. That
Ye-
right now I don't think that you have.
Yes, this will be next
So
year.
the next generation of phones,
Yes,
of smartphones will have also the.
Yes, next year, as I say, next year we are going to launch two things. The first one will be, of course, the next generation of the component. I will show the component, the chipset. And the second one will be what we call LiFi antenna.
Mhm.
That will be on your smartphone.
Like transmitter and receiver of data.
Exactly. This is the transmitter, and the receiver will be the LiFi antenna that will be
Mhm.
on your smartphone. Okay. So currently, today, you have a big company manufacturer who is producing the next generation of LiFi smartphone. It's working now. Okay. Then we are just awaiting this company to make the announcement, and probably to be on World Mobile Congress on Barcelona
Mhm.
in 3 months. This will be the announcement, the official announcement. Then the next step will be in 1 year. That will be the mass market, to be for everybody on the market.
Can I have a question, technical question about your technological model chip?
Yeah.
You said that you developed the chip to integrate in the mobile, but what do you use? I mean, for receiver, use the camera, okay, of the mobile, and your chip give the modulation of the signal.
Yeah.
Is it right, or you need a special camera?
No. As I talk about the light antenna, there is two things. I think we need to consider two things. You have the camera,
Yeah.
and you have the light antenna. Two things different. Okay, the camera and the light antenna.
Okay. So is it different?
It is.
Sensor.
Imagine that it would be the same sensor, but there is two things different, because
Okay.
the camera is something that you don't need to communicate. You can have your camera to take pictures. Okay, and the light antenna is something that you have to capture the signal,
Okay.
for example, LiFi signal or infrared signal. You see? So all of this will be integrated.
Okay, but they are used to separate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
One for camera, one for
Light
light
antenna.
antenna.
Yes.
Okay. With your chip for the modulate the signal.
Yeah.
Okay. And for transmission, what do you use?
The transmission will be here. We use the chipset will be here. The chips that I show you will be here. For downlight will be
Okay.
light, like signal.
I'm
And
talking,
uplink will be,
I'm talking about the transmission from the mobile phone.
yes, will be infrared. Infrared.
Infrared.
Yes.
And you're adding separated infrared emitter here.
Yes.
Okay, so now you have a camera and lights.
Light antenna.
Okay,
Light
you have
antenna.
to add two more. So the manufacturer mobile phone have to add a special
Let-
camera for light antenna and a second emitter for infrared emission. Okay,
So it will be the
yours-
integrated device.
yeah.
Integrated device, very very small. So you are in Barcelona, right?
No.
You are, yeah, but
Yeah.
you are near Barcelona. So next year, let's say in 3 months,
Yeah.
I think we have let's say the percentage is about 90% to see the first smartphone 5G
Okay.
that support LiFi technology and gigabyte LiFi technology.
About just to finish about the luminaires, is the same chip with where you and we have to add the same things. I mean, we have to add a transmitter, infrared transmitter,
Yes.
and infrared receiver.
Yeah, you have both. You have infrared transmitter
Yeah.
for downlink. Yeah, you have infrared transmitter for uplink. Okay, so we are going to support both versions. One version for infrared,
Okay.
and the next version will be light and infrared.
Okay.
Light modulation.
Okay.
Light modulation will receive the
Okay, but you
signal.
have two channels. I mean, you have one infrared channel. You have a wavelength normal visible.
Yes,
channel.
depending
Okay.
on the application, depending on the environment. So they will have many.
But
versions.
I think the question is also on the chip, whether it's so you have the modulator demodulator up there for transmission as well as receiving,
Yes.
and you have the same chip here in the phone. Is it a slightly different chip?
Is not the same, but you have the transmitter and you have the receiver
Uh-huh.
on the smartphone.
Okay,
But
so-
it support. Yeah.
So my question is in Veneto region we have 500 manufacturers of lighting fixtures, because in Veneto region Italy we manufacture 10% of all European lighting fixtures. The question is that do you provide just the chips or the complete module we can put directly in the luminaires?
That's the good question. That's why we are going to do together. Okay, we are Light Communication Alliance is the way to design the roadmap and to provide the guideline for the LiFi integration. So in the future, I can answer to your question. We are going to provide component to be integrated into light.
But in the future, right now, you don't have that.
I'm talking the future is tomorrow.
Yes, it's a.
When I'm talking the future is tomorrow, because next week I will be in Luxembourg. I cannot give you all the details because it's confidential. But please, just wait a few months. Okay? After Barcelona, in 3 months after Barcelona, then we start talking about how to integrate.
For the moment, with Marta, we are going to search for 1 million fundings to create the module to put in.
Yeah, absolutely.
in
That's
the
the IoT. Absolutely. That will be.
Yeah, we're the manufacturer that we are.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely,
absolutely.
absolutely. That is. I think that is the point. The point is to design the first luminaire that integrates this technology, 5G technology, and on top of this, you have the security layer. That is very important. We talked about the security layer this morning, and we need to know how to integrate the security layer on this part, and then make this security layer compliant with Euro security compliance. And by the same way, we need to design a kind of security operations center, because imagine that in Italy you design 1 million of luminaires. You need to put in place an infrastructure to update, to send the security layer here. You see what I mean? It's not just about designing the equipment, it's also about security foundation. So,
Let me say,
yeah.
we should only mention about one thing.
Yeah.
The one lamp will act in the sense of the LiFi as an access point.
Yeah, it's the access point,
There's
yes.
a lot of channels.
Yes,
So
access-
that's the router, in fact.
yeah, it's an access point that will be multi-channel. So this is I want not to enter into all of these details, it's a technical detail.
I know.
But imagine that you have an access point that can access multiple
Connections.
connections simultaneously.
Simultaneous.
Okay.
So it is not a full router because you have a switch in the background, which is
Of
doing
course.
the
The
most of the
modulation.
part of the routing.
Right, yeah. It's like the Wi-Fi access point, but it's the same because we are going to use the same protocol is protocol 802.11. Okay, it's the same because the advantage of our system is that you can switch from LiFi to Wi-Fi and from Wi-Fi to 5G. It will be transparent and you have the roaming.
In the same infrastructure.
Yes.
That's
Imagine
ideal.
that now there is no light, and then you will switch automatically to
Okay.
5G or Wi-Fi, and when you bring light up,
So the
Automatically.
security of the lamp is important because you multiply number of access points in the room. It's not one,
yes,
it's 10 or 12.
absolutely.
So-
We will see the difference between
So
Wi-Fi and
put
Wi-Fi.
a security close to the lamp.
No,
No, essentially, I believe, if I'm correct, that you're giving like the transmitter will receive from receiver your IP address, so everybody's IP address will be read.
yes,
And of course, it's more secure because it doesn't go through walls. So if you're using the lamps in
Yeah.
here, you can't use the lamps. And like Jose's going to show, it's the power of each of these lighting fittings give you the infrastructure, but it's reading only your IP address. But of course, everyone's IP address changes as
Yes.
well. But there is security issues, Joseph. There's no doubt about that. But from what I understand, it's the RGB, isn't it? The red, green, and kind of brown flickers down that sends the codes.
The code, yes,
it
yes.
must be binary
yes,
to create the signal messages. But I mean, I think what everyone's trying to understand, I mean, these devices are created with laptops, with the receivers, they're already working, but the key is the network infrastructure of the light. I mean, that won't be you to develop. I mean, you'll be
No.
developing the receiver in on your mobile phone. I mean, but how would you get the industry to convince them to retrofit? I mean, we don't even have a light switch in this room. But how would we get, what you call it, the industry to, you know, each one of these lights, is it?
Yeah, but
has your organization, your alliance, have they come up with some
absolutely.
kind
You know, they start today. Many companies are starting to use PoE, Power over Ethernet.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
So-
old technology.
That will be the next.
But can you see someone like these as an Etienne Center students would test pilot this, would retrofit all these lights with a modulator transmitter?
Yeah.
You can see it happen like without subvention.
Yes,
so
yes.
Just do it.
Yes, yeah. You have many companies. I will show you some example of company that using PoE,
Yeah.
Power over Ethernet technology, for the high building. You cannot imagine, but it's starting now because the advantage of Power over Ethernet is very, very simple. Only one cable, you have the power and you have the data, and it's very easy to maintain because when you are building today, you don't know how to maintain after 40 years. Using if you use, for example, KNX protocol is very, very complex. Now everything's okay. You build your house or your office with KNX. Now, are you sure that after 40 years, 50 years, you will be able to maintain, to know what has been done 40 years before? And the advantage of PoE, it's just one cable.
I know, but in relation to the lighting guys, like from Italy in retrospect, I mean, will they start manufacturing these lighting systems with the modulator and transmission? Or if you that be one market, the other markets, you have to retrofit all the buildings in Italy and France now with this new technology.
Yeah.
That's the challenge, and that's the.
That is starting. As I say, Air France,
Yeah.
the next generation of aircraft will use LiFi as connectivity, not only for end users, but for the cable. The cable will be light.
Yeah, infrastructure. Yeah.
The construction. So it's a new approach, and that is the beginning of the new revolution. So of course you need to see the real life application. You need to see, and I think next year that's why the role of Light Communication Alliance is to bring this kind of expertise project into the market to show how LiFi is integrated and how LiFi is used and will be used in the future. So, as I say, as you can see here, what will happen? You are outside here, and you have access to your mobile phone, mobile network. Then when you go inside the building, you can have access with your Wi-Fi connectivity, and finally you have access to, when you have light, you have access to your connectivity to your LiFi network. So the connectivity will be transparent. You should keep in mind that LiFi is a complement of connectivity. We bring connectivity on a high level, but LiFi bring more advantages in terms of security and the bandwidth, and also the density of the bandwidth. And I'm going to show you the difference between LiFi and Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi, when you have two access points, it leads to many interferences. But the advantage of light here, you can have 100 luminaire, one sit side by side. There's no interference. And imagine that this luminaire give you 10 gigabytes per second. And you have 10 luminaire. In total, you have 100 gigabytes per second on the local network. It's clear? One luminaire give you 10 gigabytes per second. And if you have 10 in one room, you have 100 gigabytes per second. So imagine the density of bandwidth you have for accessing internet or local application in your office or in your home. And that is something that Wi-Fi cannot achieve, because Wi-Fi, only with 2 or 3 access points, create more interferences.
And 12 channels.
So-
And 12 channels, 12 frequencies, which are available.
So too many interferences. That's why Air France is
Radio channels.
ready to implement LiFi into the next generation of ride. So the future will be this, and I told you that LiFi will be used for 5G. That's why Orange operator will be with us next week in Luxembourg. Orange is working to integrate LiFi with the 5G mobile communication, because inside the house, no need to install antenna, no need. Just use your light. And it's very easy and very cheaper. So LiFi rely on 5G. And once again, you need to wait and see for yourself. So we are working on this. That's the objective of the Alliance. By the coming year, by 2021, you see real life application with mobile phone, 5G mobile phone, 5G network, and then you have access to the LiFi technology and infrastructure. So for the home, we are talking about smart building and smart home. Look, this is the standard of smart building and smart home. You have one cable, only one cable that connects all of this luminaire, and this is PoE cable, and you can use your mobile phone inside the building to access internet, and also use your mobile phone or your local network as a 5G mobile network. And all of this over PoE or power line communication. The advantage of power line communication, for example, is in some building, if you want to retrofit in some building, you cannot connect, you cannot integrate some cable. So just use your electrical cable and connect the system to the LiFi infrastructure. Then you can move from one light to another one without losing the signal. You have the roaming profile, roaming system. Like today, when you move from light to another one, there is no loss of signal. And that's very, very important. That's why 5G, LiFi can support 5G, because you can move from one light to another one, you still have the signal. So we talk about shedding the light on LiFi. As I say, the next generation of connectivity solution will require more and more bandwidth. And today, Wi-Fi is not the best technology to support the high demand of bandwidth. And that's why LiFi is really the only technology that can support LiFi only support the entire bandwidth that we have today. Imagine all radio frequencies technology, Wi-Fi and 5G and 4G. When you take all the bandwidth that is available, LiFi support all the entire bandwidth. That means the bandwidth that LiFi can deliver is unlimited, because light we have today we have 10 gigabyte per LED, but the objective is to have 100 gigabyte per small luminaire, 100 gigabyte. So as you can see, the bandwidth is added depending on the number of luminaire you have. The more you have, of course, the more bandwidth the more you install, the more bandwidth you have. Comparing to a Wi-Fi that cause more interferences. So the advantage of LiFi is the high capacity of bandwidth that it will bring on the market to support some application like virtual reality. Did somebody here see some application like virtual reality?
Yes.
You cannot imagine what will be the next world, the perfect world. You can make a combination of this area and introduce some magical information on this area. So all of this, to access all of this, you need the bandwidth. And LiFi is the only candidate, the only technology to support this. That's why we talk about the future. The revolution is LiFi.
Okay,
Of course.
Let's
So
clarify a simple question.
Yeah.
Because probably it's most interesting for you and for me too. You do the transmission with modulation in invisible part of the light,
Yes.
which is in the lamp source.
yes,
Okay, so that requires quite new sources of the light, I think. More accept, because you put a lot of frequencies, visible frequency of the light.
there is no frequency.
and
It's,
invisible of frequencies. Okay.
the modulation is we dim
You-
on off
Yeah,
on off on off.
It's the origin.
100
It's
one-
the 0 ones, when the light hits the receiver, flashes,
Okay.
like we don't see it because it's the colors are infrared, but that creates the 0 and 1 binary codes.
LEDs,
So
LEDs
it's
is
flickering
now.
all the time? It's flickering all the time?
Yeah,
Yes,
but
yes.
you don't
Yeah.
see it. You
No,
can't
it
see
doesn't
I
flick.
know
But it's constantly to create these
It doesn't
binary
flick.
codes.
Flickering, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
so-
crazy with it.
Yes.
You can
I
put
think you have a
LEDs.
slide on it,
Yeah.
Joseph. I think there's a slide that shows the. Is there?
Should be
I'm sorry, I did not bring the equipment, but next time I can make the demonstration so you can see for yourself.
It's flickering so fast that you don't see it.
Is the you dim imagine
Yes, of
on off 1 million per second?
Source, yeah. I have a question about the bandwidth. You
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
You talk about 10 gigahertz in
That's
transmission.
the next.
Okay.
the next-
But what about the transmission in infrared toward the lamp?
The same.
The same.
Yes, the same.
Even if it's
Today we have 1 gigabyte both direction, downlink and
10 giga.
yes,
By
of course,
direction.
yes, of course. All of this depend on the bandwidth you have, your internet
Yeah, sure.
access. But the technology,
I'm talking about the capacity of the channel.
yes,
so-
the two channels have the same capacity. Yes, I will show you real life. I will show you. So the next generation of connectivity will require more and more bandwidth because more application. We talk about in Industry 4, we require more and more bandwidth. So light is everywhere, and light will be the backbone of the network backbone of this kind of application. So the same, you can move from one line to another one without losing the connectivity. So we talk about the spectrum crunch. Why? As I say, there is no available frequency in the world. Nothing doesn't exist. We have consumed all the frequencies. So that's why 5G has been delayed, because we delayed because they want to see what would be the support of 5G, because there is no frequencies. And when we talk about 5G now, Highway is starting working on 6G, but there is no frequencies. So we are running out of frequencies. So the only network that exists is light. That's why the future, and when you see the history of internet, all thing has been digitalized. You see telephone, voice, TV, everything. Only light is not connected. And light will be the next big thing that will be connected to the internet. That's why Cisco is the key player of this technology. This technology has been founded by Cisco. The first equipment I show you at the beginning was founded by Cisco. And when you go to Cisco website, the objective of Cisco is to connect every light everywhere in the world.
And they call it Internet of Everything.
Yes, they will connect every light. They say we did it during 30 years. We did it with telephone. We did it with everything. We are going to connect every light using Cisco equipment.
So that's street lamps also if you're outside external?
Yes.
Yeah, that will be like a public light.
Yes.
Like a hotspot area?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is what we are doing here in Ireland. So, as you can see, we are running into out of bandwidth. So, there is no spectrum available on the market. So, the only network that is expanded around the world is light. Now, imagine that this light is connected to the internet. In France, you have many cities starting deploying the fiber channel, the fiber network, optical fiber.
Yes.
Optical fiber network. So because this will be connected to smart city to light, that will be the next step. Everywhere. So what is the difference between LiFi and Wi-Fi? As I say, we have the congestion. The advantage of LiFi over Wi-Fi is that you have the density of connectivity. You can mixture, you can have thousands of luminaires sitting side by side. There is no interference. But doing the same with Wi-Fi is not possible. We have also the security. It's very important. I'm here. I can access with my mobile phone to all the services that will be deployed here. But the guy who is sitting here cannot access what I'm accessing from here. As you can see, it's more secure for banking, for many applications, military, defense, everything. Light is more and more secure. For example, light is the only mechanic solution that can penetrate the wall. The water. Yes or not? Imagine for marine application. So you take laser light. You can send the information underwater. You are underground. There's no Wi-Fi. There is no 5G or 4G. But you have light. as a backbone, as a network system. So light is more secure and is everywhere. And that is one of the advantage of the technology. High speed. As I say, the equipment I show you, the first equipment I show you, we start with 10 gigabytes per second. No, 10 megabytes per second. 8 years ago. And now, next year, this year, we demonstrate at Barcelona 1 gigabit per second of bandwidth. And then next year, one LED, small LED, will bring you 10 gigabytes per second. One. And the objective is to have 100 gigabytes per second per luminaire. So, LiFi is the only technology, because light is a physical functionality to have we used to say the speed at the speed of the light, and we have more and more bandwidth with the technology. And this is the example of what I was talking earlier. As you can see, when you are home, on the left you have Wi-Fi, and on the right you have LiFi. Here you can see that your neighbor here can access your Wi-Fi network, but the opposite here is not possible. Light is confined on special area, and imagine the density of access points. Look, we can concentrate the access point. And now imagine the number of bandwidth you have when you have many luminaires. And on top of this, you can implement the security layer. You can imagine that when you enter a zone area, a special area, you have been identified by the light, and you can be denied access to one or another special area. So that is the future. That is not a science fiction. That is what we are doing here. Light will allow you to go to do or to not do something. Because light can see. It will see like you and me. It can identify you. And can give you some access to some area, some application, or not. And you have a high bandwidth that you cannot have with Wi-Fi. So, the advantage is, as I say, high speed, reliability, security, and many more. Also, the advantage to have the location-based services. You are here, you have access to banking system, your banking system. When you move here, you have access to other application. I can, for example, have pizza advertisement here. I move here, I have Versailles Museum visit, or I can visit Saint Petersburg Museum here. As you can see, you can have different application per light. So light will be an infrastructure of services. Light will provide services. You will earn money when you provide LiFi network on the market, because you will earn money. The light will be the infrastructure of services. They will deliver the services. Today, the light can cost more money because it costs you more money. You have to pay. You have to pay electricity. But tomorrow, the light will bring you more money. The luminaire will bring you more money because you can integrate it many services. And that is something that will be changed, will change the mind. So now imagine what how many applications you can design inside the light to integrate this kind of application. Limitless. It depends on your imagination. So, as I said, this year at Barcelona, we demonstrate the first small luminaire that deliver 1 gigabit per second. And this is what we are doing now. We have integrated, as you can see. I told you, this next generation of device will support 5G and high bandwidth. I can say that you are going to change your mobile phone, that for sure. In 2 years, you will be, because when this kind of technology comes to the market, you should change your mobile phone to go to the 5G mobile phone. And that's why many companies now are awaiting this opportunity to renew the technology. And then this kind of mobile phone will support the high speed, high bandwidth technology like LiFi that you cannot do with your current smartphone. So today the technology is ready to be integrated into everywhere. Printer, tablet, everywhere, it's ready. Smartphone. And the other, we are designing some special devices because it's confidential, I cannot tell you, but next year you will see what we are going to put on the market. It's something amazing. So the technology is ready. And
Next door.
sorry?
Right to the next door.
Yes, we are just awaiting the standard. The standard has to be ratified in 1 year. So everything will come on the same time. I'm talking about the standard, but of course, the standard is already starting integrating. I'm talking about the mass market that is already now. So the technology is ready, and we start integrating it. So this is the next, as I said, this is what we call the light antenna. It's the antenna that can capture light. It's like Wi-Fi antenna, can capture the signal. And this will be the light antenna. And this light antenna can be integrated everywhere. Can be on smart touch table. It can be everywhere, mirror up everywhere. Okay, so there are too many applications. So, as I said, the next version will support next year 10 gigabytes per second, and everything will come on the same time with 5G, because 5G start next year. You know that 5G, many trial will start next year. 5G for mobile operator, and by 2021, you have the mass market. So this year in Barcelona, this HP, this has already been integrated by HP. As you can see, this LiFi is integrated. And the bandwidth you can see is 1 gigabit by bandwidth downlink, and you have around 610 megabyte for uplink. Of course, depending on the local bandwidth, the local internet access. But in two ways, we have 1 gigabyte up and 1 gigabyte down.
Are you maybe thinking about some kind of adapters to use as a mouse to laptops or to mobile phones? Because when everybody will have to have this adapter in the device, we will have to throw out all our devices, and it will be a great pollution. Some kind of adapter, which see the Wi-Fi and can be connected
To support
everything
the
you-
transitory.
Yeah.
Imagine that every time when you go, you take your flight or you go everywhere, you need where is my adapter? Not so easy. I think we should accept that we are going to move to the next generation of mobile phone, and that was the case with iPhone or the other brand. It is not feasible to every time have your adapter with you when you want to access anywhere the network.
It's moderately easy because in the phone market system, smartphones, let's say, it's better because of the short life cycle of those units nowadays also, okay? We can exchange it. But when you think about the workshop and industry, when you have the machines and you want to establish this, because it's very convenient to having a great workshop, a LiFi, you should have a technology which is implemented as adapters just to upgrade existing systems with the LiFi interface.
But the line antenna will have that is some imagination of integrator. You just buy the component and you can imagine.
Okay.
You can imagine some kind of
the
adapt.
market and the
You can imagine some kind of.
Okay.
I think the current perspective, most design perspectives on LiFi, they are on IC. It's an integrated circuit.
Yes.
And that's how they achieve very high efficiency as well. If you take the IC part out and you create an adapter where it's not integrated with the rest of the full circuit, it reduces efficiency as well.
Yeah. I think we are going to move to change completely, but in some case, you can have some adapter on depending on the integration for some different kind of application. This is kind of imagination and of integration and development. But in most of the case, you are going to change, unfortunately, your mobile phone to switch. It's a big switch to a new version because your smartphone, your smartphone currently cannot.
Smartphones not doubt.
Your smartphone currently cannot access the high bandwidth.
It's almost broken. I can easily accept the exchange.
It cannot accept the high bandwidth of 1 gigabyte or 10 gigabyte currently. This one. It was not designed for this.
What was the markup with HP for making the LiFi laptop? What was the cost difference?
The cost?
Difference.
That was the first prototype, but I think that the reason why Pure LiFi raised $18 million last week to bring the LiFi to the mass market. So the cost will be the same.
Yeah, it's just that I'm worried like
The integration of the LiFi you will not see the difference because it's just the component. The cost will be the same.
Cost will be the same.
Absolutely.
Because that will always come down to that. Like if you can sell people.
Absolutely. It's like LED. You just go to IKEA,
it's
buy the LED, just integrate it.
This is the argument that if you manufacture the phone from the beginning as an integrated circuit, it will be cheaper than creating an adapter, manufacturing it separately, and then putting it on.
Yes, because
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, that's for sure.
From a cost perspective, it's more expensive.
So for sure the cost will be the same because it will be integrated like any like Wi-Fi. When you buy an equipment, I don't think that you pay the cost of Wi-Fi integration. No, the cost is the same. It will be exactly the same.
Has Etsy, I don't know, sorry, it's sort of a presentation, but has Etsy, because you know, I attended the Etsy too, and Etsy, the European Telecommunications Standards Show, never really shows LiFi. There's Wi-Fi, there's narrow bandwidth to solve the problems now, narrow bandwidth. And even in photonics, we're looking at narrow bandwidth as well for microchips to solve bandwidth issues. But Etsy, since I've been there, except for what you were going to present, they don't mention anything about LiFi. Why is that? Is it a challenge to the AM, FM, or cellular kind of aspect of the signal operation? What is the issue?
I think
I'm asking you because I know you're connected.
so I think Etsy is an organization where still telecoms have a lot of say. Industry has lesser say. They are the dominant players. And LiFi is a technology that came out of the industry, not from the telecoms.
Okay.
So if LiFi becomes big, telecoms will not get a huge piece of it. They will be coming much later at the end.
So that would be a barrier then to the adoption of LiFi because the telecoms are quite strong. I mean, when we look at network connection, network security, everything is from a telecom
Yes.
point of view more so than, you know, from the cyber. So is that a barrier, Jose? Is there something that can be done to, because I mean,
I think what Chube is doing with Orange is a good idea. If Orange decides, if one telecom decides to push it through,
the rest will follow?
the rest will follow.
Yeah, Orange is not the only one. You have Telefonica, you have many.
But they're going to follow though, because you need someone to set this, especially the operators, because they're...
Yeah, you have Nokia, you have... we are going to make some announcement after 10th of December, okay? So from now, I would like to be to get information more confidential, okay? There are many others that join the alliance. So this is the chipset. We have some chipsets that are low bandwidth, depending on the application. It can be industrial application. So this is some chipset that can be integrated for some specific application. So here we have some manufacturers that start to integrate the gigabyte LiFi technology. You have Zoomtobel. Zoomtobel is, maybe you know Zoomtobel? Yeah. Look, Zoomtobel have already integrated this on the Luminaire technology. So you can go and see what Zoomtobel did in Germany. It's real life application, something that you can see, and you can use the laptop and have the same result. You have GTAC. You know GTAC? GTAC is a big company that integrates rugged tablet for military industrial application. And LiFi is already integrated here. You can go on your I will show you the website. You have HP here, and of course you have the mobile manufacturer that from now I don't want to tell the name because it's not the case, it's not the objective. The mobile phone is ready now. Okay. So this is something that already exists. And what we are going to bring on the market is the component. Next year, you have the component. So you buy the component, you integrate the component inside the Luminaire. Okay. This is the same case Zoomtobel did. They bought the component and they integrate this. And so this is not the science fiction, this is something that you can see. But this is about 1 gigabyte, you are talking about 1 gigabyte per second. But the next generation will be 10 gigabyte. And the component that will be on the market will be something special for 10 gigabyte. And currently we are designing the prototype.
Okay. Can I ask you about Zoomtobel or in general how integrate luminaires? I mean, you say that telephone sent by IR infrared,
yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Wavelength. But why don't use infrared wavelength also from luminaires to mobile?
The same, it will be the same. That I'm talking to you. Wait, the next generation of luminaire will have different case. I say earlier that there are different model of.
Because the example is that in this moment I can transmit from here to luminaire.
Yes.
But luminaire can transmit from luminaire to mobile because it's switched off.
Yes.
This moment. If I have always a
infrared
channel,
yes,
which is always transmission.
That should be the next step.
So for the moment, Zoomtobel use visible light.
No.
No.
Both.
Both.
Yes.
No, I mean from luminaires to
both.
mobile.
Okay. This will be also infrared. Okay. Please wait.
Come to Barcelona.
Wait. Next. I cannot talk to you much more. Okay.
Too many secrets in this presentation.
Yes. No. Because this. No. Absolutely. That's true. That's true. I'm not here. I'm here to give you the detail, not something that is confidential.
If you
That-
have too much information, we will kill after it. So we stop now because we're reaching.
Please be patient.
And the
Be
rising
patient.
by the light.
And
It's a
look,
very near
this
future.
this is something that we are going to integrate.
Yeah.
So you will see for yourself. We are bringing the technology.
We are going to have a showroom also, if I'm not error, in Lyon,
It's
in the City of Light.
yeah. That's the next step. We are waiting. Yeah. So step by step. Okay.
But
This-
we want priority for the Venetian manufacturer like the future. So we sign now for
Extra.
priority.
Okay, so as you can see, okay, I told you that we have the future in front of us. Look, you see this one?
Not really good, but
Yes, but you can see
It's a
on
secret.
on the website.
if you want, I can show some. If you want to show some video, I'm on your website.
Yeah, we are to show because I don't have I don't have internet access. Imagine that.
Use the audio
Imagine
on
that.
the computer.
Imagine that here you have a luminaire here. Okay? And on this luminaire, because we are going to design the next generation of IoT, and on this luminaire, you have integrated the secret of family, the family secret. You imagine? You understand what I imagine? What I'm talking? Every family have the secret. It can be the bank information account, can be all confidential information. Then you store this information on the luminaire. Okay?
If they will
Then-
install you, they will install the room.
You integrate this. Then you are the only to access this using the LiFi
Yeah.
mobile phone. And here there is no internet access. Nobody can access here. Only you can access.
As
This-
the hacker.
Nobody can access. No. Explain to me how you can access the
Ah, but
data
you don't
that
have to speak
here.
with us. You
There
have
is
to
no
speak
there is
with
no
me
connect
and
there is no
Gabo.
internet connectivity.
Okay, not if there is no internet connectivity.
No,
sure.
there is no internet
Just
connectivity.
between the two systems, yes. It's,
Yes.
it's a closed loop.
Absolutely. Okay.
Unless he's already hacked the device that you're using. And
Exactly.
he's
Yes, so-
so he's already in there as soon as you start a computer on the internet.
Yes. So that's LiFi can bring also that you can access information to light without internet connectivity for privacy.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this some kind of IoT can be designed depending on application types. You can imagine many kind of application. You can imagine advertisement. You can imagine everything. So depend on imagination. Okay. So as I say, we are awaiting the official announcement soon from the world first LiFi smartphone. And look, that's what we are going to bring. CRANTEC will bring the expertise. Look, the future is this. You have your elite IoT luminaire here, and you have thousands of services. And this luminaire is connected to, you have PoE infrastructure. Then from here, you can deliver any kind of service. You can rent a car, pizza, everything. You can have some store. You can imagine anything, advertisement, security alert. You can do everything. So your mobile phone, your next mobile phone will be the luminaire, not here, not your mobile phone, because the application will be designed here. Then from here, you need to design the security layer, because you need to receive the update security features. Then we need to build a new security infrastructure that will push, like Windows updates, will push the security patches to any luminaire that we are going to design. And this luminaire should be Euro compliant, security compliant. As you can see, we have many to imagine. LiFi integration, security integration, security validation, and security layer distribution to any luminaire.
But speaking about security, this is a kind of radiation, yeah?
Is it?
Is it a kind of radiation?
No, there's no radiation. There's no frequency.
You said it is infrared, yeah?
Yeah.
It is a kind of radiation, yeah?
No, when you
Is
use
it examined as a health for people,
no,
for human body?
no infrared. When you do use infrared every day, when you use your car, when you use your
Yeah,
remote
but the scale
remote control.
is quite bigger, and the radiation is stronger. When you say it's one, I don't know, gigabyte from each lamp, so it's accumulating.
No, there is
So
no. There,
I know that people are against the 5G because they are afraid of it. Maybe it's funny, but is it examined?
5G
this
5G is
technology?
the radio frequencies.
Okay, guys, the Manja, so his food is in the cross, so we're going to have to continue this when we eat food because it was not hot and good.
Okay,
No, but
we stop.
yeah, because
Okay,
we
sorry.
We are closing the kitchen.
It looks
now.
like you're
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
Okay, but it's okay. We
Again,
sign
guys,
the
I'll
contract.
circulate everything and we can fully evaluate this.